speed triggers, hair triggers, binary triggers, and all the other stuff that makes your rifle goes faster. But there's one company that goes into the complete different direction with the little device called the clicker. Hello and welcome to a new video, and as you can see I'm in a different setting. We are in Sweden now, and this will be the first video out in the channel on the new location. And yes, a lot needs to be changed. As you can hear, there is a lot of echo in this room. It's dead. I need to put a lot of stuff on the walls. I need to fix this. I need to fix all the lighting. I need to do a lot of stuff before this is finished. But I wanted to start to get into it again, and this is the first little video about something that I wanted to show for a really long time. And I've been using it for a few years now actually, and I love this little clicker device. And the clicker is made by Perun. Who else? They are a company in Poland, and they've been known to make amazing products up to perfection to give a better experience for the player. And the clicker is no exception. Now I do have to note that this is the prototype clicker that I have in here, and right now they are on the third version of the clicker. Hopefully I get one for testing to see what the difference is, and then I will make an update video about that. But right now we're gonna focus on the ID and how this prototype already works amazingly well. So real quick, I made a small mistake. It's not the third version of the clicker that is coming, it is the version 3 of the clicker that is coming, and that's even more excited to test out because I want one in my ARC, my ICS ARC. So the clicker that I have in my UK one, that is a prototype, and they have a finalized version that you can find everywhere. But the version 3 was not, like I said, it's not the third version of the version 2 clicker, it is the version 3 gearbox clicker. And I want to test that. Back to the video. Now, the clicker itself simulates the break that you have on a real firearm. Like you have a wall that you need to break through. There's a small pre-travel, there is the break itself, and then you fire your BB. And I do applaud Perun for making this clicker thing that is actually going the complete other direction of what most companies are doing around, to make as fast as possible triggers like hair triggers where you just tap the trigger and your rifle goes off accidentally in a lot of cases. And this is just going the complete other direction, and I just love it. And it's not only the break itself, it's also the sound. So the rifle is completely empty, there is no battery inside, there is no magazine, no BBs, it's just the clicker thing that you're gonna hear. So hopefully the microphone picks it up, but I'll put in some close-ups so you can see how it actually works. But here comes the satisfying click. And also the reset click. I love it. Now I wanted to have the clicker in a DMR setup. Now I don't have a DMR, but I have this ICS UK one that I wanted to try taking it to Berget and see how it works. But I can totally understand if you take this up in a DMR rifle and you're just waiting and you take your shot and you can feel the click and the reset, that would be an amazing feeling. So probably there's gonna come a DMR where I'm gonna include the Perun clicker into the system. I briefly mentioned it, if you want to have the clicker in your system, you do need the Perun V2 Hybrid MOSFET. Well, this is not really a bad thing because their MOSFETs are really nice. I love them. They have awesome stickers on how to adjust your MOSFET during the game with some nice coloring. I just love how easy their MOSFETs are to set up. There is no Bluetooth integrated in the MOSFET, but they make it so intuitive and so easy that you actually don't need it. And once you have set it, you don't need to change it that much. So love the Perun system. So if you want to switch to a MOSFET, consider the Perun MOSFETs. And if you want to go to a little bit more realism, consider having the clicker in the V2 MOSFET. So how do you install this? There is a full manual on the Perun website, and again, their manuals are really simple. They really try to make it as easy as possible for you to install the clicker and the MOSFET into your rifle. You just follow the steps and everything will work out. But important, follow the steps, because some steps are important to have a correct installation. For the Perun Clicker, you need to have the V2 Hybrid installed. I will make a video about that later when I install a new one, but right now I already had a V2 installed. And then you just take out the magnet holder because you don't need it anymore, because the Perun Clicker have their own magnets inside. So you just remove the magnet from your trigger unit and you just pop in the clicker unit. You remove the physical safety, the trigger safety that is at the bottom of your gearbox, and then you just close down the gearbox and your clicker is installed. And I installed it in my ICS, and that is a split gearbox. It worked perfectly fine. I tried it in different ICS gearboxes because they have their own SSS gearbox, which has this giant hole in one of the shells because that's where their ICS MOSFET goes. But even with that, the clicker fits perfectly in a tight spot. And that's really important because the clicker is not allowed to move around in your shell of your gearbox. Now, there are a few settings that you can do on the clicker. Yes, that little thingy, the little device has two settings that you can do. You can change your breakthrough power, so that is the power or the force that is needed to break the wall, so to have the click, and the other one is the pre-travel distance. I like to have a small pre-travel distance, and if you don't want that pre-travel distance, you can eliminate it with adjusting a few screws. Like there are two screws that you can adjust. One is for the brake force and the other one is for the pre-travel distance. And then there is one setting that you need to change inside your MOSFET itself, and that is your sensitivity of your trigger needs to be at 5. Now, it might be if you fiddle around with your pre-travel distance that you need to set the level to 4, but that is something that you need to test out, try out, and if you want to fiddle around with it, see if it works. If you don't set it to the right setting, it might happen that your shot goes off before you broke the force wall. That's just a Star Wars thing to say.
The Force is strong with him.
But yes, you need to set it. You need to set the sensitivity to the correct one, but usually it's going to be at 5. For me, it's at 5, and it works perfectly fine. But because you installed the little clicker in your gearbox, there are two things that will not work anymore. One, that is the 2-stage trigger. That means that originally the MOSFET detects different stages of the trigger. You can have the first stage can be 3-down burst, and if you completely pull the trigger, it's a full auto. Now that function will not work with the trigger. It's a one function only. The other thing that will change is that you don't have your physical safety of your trigger. Now the MOSFET itself will not shoot and save because there is an electronic safety, but the mechanical safety needs to be removed to install the clicker in the shell of the gearbox. And after that, you can just take up the rifle. Well, you need to put the gearbox back into the rifle, but after that, you take up the rifle and go into the woods, CQB, whatever, and have fun with it. And once you start using it, you're gonna love it. I do, and all the people that I showed it to, because I can tell you it is amazing, but I noticed that once I give the rifle to the people, like, hey, test out the clicker thingy, they're like, what the? This is amazing, I want it. And a few people already have it in their rifles. So I like it how this little thing makes the experience like so much better. And I love Perun for doing that, because this is not something that I thought of or that I wanted in my life, but now that it is here, I do want it in my life. So good job, Perun, of making the Airsoft experience a little bit better for a lot of players. So if you're interested in the clicker, go find your local Airsoft shop and see if they have it in stock. If they don't have it in stock, let them contact Perun so they can have Perun stuff in stock so you can order one and install it in your rifles. And if you already have one, please let me know what your experience is with it, because as far as I noticed, there is not a lot of people using it. Maybe it's not that common to use, or people just don't brag about it. Just they enjoy the pleasure of using it like that. But if you have one installed, let me know in the comments, and also let me know how you experienced this little upgrade on your rifle. And yeah, that's all the things that I want to say about the Perun Clicker. It is an amazing device. If you not noticed that, I really love it. So as you can see, again, I'm in a new setting. I need some time to adjust. It's a new camera, it's new audio, it's new lighting, it's new everything. So, but I'm back, and I want to bring more Airsoft videos again to you guys. Hopefully I can make one video a week again, but don't count on it right now. But I will try to make a more regular schedule of videos coming up. I do have a lot of videos in the pipeline that I want to bring to you, but this one was the first one to test the setup, see how it goes, and get back into it. because I've been out for a very long time. Now, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date about the new videos, and also don't forget to go to Airsoft World to keep up to date with all the other stuff that I do. And the last thing that I want to do is wish you a very good day, and hopefully I see you soon in another video. Bye.